Hi guys! Alright, this is Unit 1, the second lesson. We're going to talk about subtracting polynomials and the distributive property. We're going to simplify the following expressions. Use the space provided to solve the problems. So this first one here, you have a 2 in the front. We're going to distribute the 2 to both items that are in the parentheses. I like to think of it as we're going to hand it out. This is Mr. X and Mr. 3. Mr. X and Mr. 3 are going to both get handed this 2. We're distributing it. Now, that just means we're going to multiply. This first step is multiplying, multiplication, times. So we'll do 2 times X. Well, Mrs. Jones, how do we multiply a number and a letter? Well, we don't. Remember that x is equal to 1x. There is a 1 in front of that x. So in essence, we are doing 2 times 1x. So that is going to be 2 times 1. And we all know that any number times 1 is going to be the number itself. So that's going to be 2x. Now we need to multiply the 2 times the 3. Distribute it. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. There you go. That is the distributive property. You multiply whatever's on the outside by everything that's on the inside. That one was pretty simple. Let's go on and look at number 2. Now at any point you want to pause this video and think about it. If I make the videos too long, YouTube doesn't put closed captioning on them, and I'm really trying to get my videos closed captioned for that means the words go along the bottom for my students that need closed captioning. I love closed captioning. I never watch a video without it. I like to hear things and read things at the same time. All right, so this time we're going to multiply this -3. So that means everything on the inside is going to get a -3. So -3 times y. Well, remember guys, there's a 1 in front of that y. So we're going to do -3 times 1. Well, that's just -3. Then bring down your plus sign. You're going to do -3 times 2. And what is -3 times 2? That's -6. And I said this a lot last class. Remember, adding a negative is the same as if you would have just subtracted. These two are the same, exact same. Perfect. Remember, pause this video at any point to stop and think. All right, my next one. Oh my gosh, Miss Jones, there is only a negative on the outside there. What kind of craziness is this? Well, that negative is as if there was a -1 there. And that negative is a -1. Now there's a minus here this time. There's a minus there. So remember, that is the same as if you had 7 plus -3x. Okay? These are the same. All right? Now we're going to multiply everything in the parentheses by a -1. So -1 times 7. Now, this minus, I really like to think of it as a negative. You're going to do -1 times -3x. You will make less mistakes in the long run if you actually make everything into addition problems. And then you work the signs out at the end. Now, and a lot of you guys were telling me this yesterday. Isn't a negative a positive? Yes, when you multiply a negative times a negative, you're going to get a positive. So let's go right here. This is a negative times a positive. A negative times a positive, -7. A negative 1 times a negative 3, a positive 3. There you go. Now, I think I also mentioned this yesterday too. In algebra, it's customary, the man or woman or being who invented algebra decided when you write things, you should always put the constant term last. These two are the same. Negative 7 plus 3x is the same as 3x minus 7. Those are the same. All right, let's do number 4. Remember, you can pause this at any time to stop and write and think. I'm trying to just not make the video too long. The beauty of YouTube is you can pause, rewind, stop, think. All right, this one has 1, 2, 3. 3 terms. All 3 terms are going to get multiplied by the 4. So let's distribute the 4 to all 3 terms. And look, you have a minus there. Remember, a minus is the same as plus a negative. X plus 2y plus negative 4. These are the same. Now let's distribute. Whoop, whoop, whoop. What's in front of this x that you don't see? A 1 is in front of that x. You don't see that 1. So when you're doing 4 times x, you're doing 4 times 1. Then you're going to do 4 times 2y. I'm going to write it out. Then you're doing 4 times negative 4. And you'll eventually get to the point where you won't need to write it out like this. You'll be able to just know to do the math. If I wasn't explaining this, I would never have written this step. I would have written what I'm going to write next. So 4 times x, 4x. 4 times 2, 8. 4 times negative 4, negative 16. Now remember, adding a negative is the same as if you would have just subtracted. There is your answer. Your answer has 4 terms, just like your original had 4 terms. Stay tuned for the next video.